Unitarian Universalist Church, building community, inspiring growth, creating change. Here in the heart of Kansas City, we come together to create this hour of shared reflection so that we might be renewed in courage for these times and inspired to lives of greater dignity, higher purpose, deeper generosity, and more effective action. May the words and music and images that we offer today nourish our best selves, calling forth abundant wisdom and love, a love that has the power to overcome both loneliness in the heart and oppression in the world. Welcome to our service.
Good morning, everybody. If you're not in the Christmas spirit already, you will be after today's service. I'm Jean Patterson, a member of All Souls, and whether you're here in the room or watching at home, we're glad you're with us. Your presence enriches all of us and our time together. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Our tradition is a large tent with room for many beliefs and approaches to the questions that matter. It is our values of inclusion, compassion, and justice that hold us together. We seek to build the beloved community, making room for everyone and creating a world where everyone's needs are met. You may be new here this morning. Welcome. We know that your first time attending a church, you may want to keep a low profile and just check things out quietly. That's great. And if you're a visitor and excited to be here and let us know that you're here, we invite you to raise your hand at this time. So we know, oh, we have several today. Oh, it's so good to see you. Thank you for enriching all of us with your presence today. Excuse me, I've got a frog. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you're welcome here. You're invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands. We welcome you today. Now, I do have a short little announcement. After the service, there will be a UU Basics class for visitors or folks thinking about membership. After the service, just follow the signs. And I have to say, there's a little sign in the back of the room here that says, "We love Aaron, Kendall, Anthony, the choir, etc." You guys can't see it, but I wanted to point it out, and it's so true.
In the dark of midwinter, we await the coming of life together. We join in our community with one another's smiles and twinkling eyes that warm our hearts. As people have always done together, we sing.
Christmas carols are about singing together. Their very structure of refrain, verse, sometimes on and on with more verses than anyone can remember. This structure is designed for everyone to sing the refrain together and individuals to sing the verses solo, which is not what we're going to do today, but that's how they were built as songs. Everyone sings, everyone dances, everyone gets swept up in the joy of being together outside of the cold.
It does not matter whether you sing well. Singing carols together is about the act of singing carols together, not the quality of the music. Remember that caroling has a long tradition of drunkenness and revelry, just like last night. So sing with abandon, not worrying about getting the notes right or the words right unless you're in the choir.
Simply be in the moment. Grasp the instant of joy. Let us welcome in all that is bright and holy through our song. This is caroling, singing to celebrate together.
It is in this spirit that we light our chalice this morning. May its light guide us in the darkness. May its warmth bring us together. And may it inspire us to joy.
I invite you to please rise however you are able and read with me our covenant. Together we affirm, goodwill is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. I invite you to remain risen, and I invite our young people to come forward here while we sing together, Deck the Hall. Hi, Jude. Thank you all for joining me down here. Have you ever wondered about some of these things in this song we just sang that don't make sense? You haven't? Oh, when I was your age, I wondered. It didn't make any sense. Like, deck the hall with boughs of holly. So, like, somehow the deck of a ship has something to do with a hallway. That doesn't make any sense. What are boughs of holly? So how about we think about the word deck, okay, as an older word for decorate. We decorate. So there's nothing about a ship. We're just decorating. And the hallway. Who puts their decorating work, their fine work of decorating, into a hallway? You do? I don't. I do not decorate the hallway, personally. Oh, okay. Oh, your mom painted on the hallway walls. That is ambitious.
My mom painted in the hallway bathroom.
In the hallway bathroom.
At my old house, my mom painted flowers on the walls of the stairs.
Oh, and Jude's mom painted flowers on the walls of the stairs. There are some really amazing people taking care of their houses that are not me. So, if it's not hallways that we're decorating, one might still decorate a great hall. The large central room, particularly hundreds of years ago, where people would gather and eat. So imagine the great hall in Harry Potter. That's the kind of place we're talking about. This, it looks a lot like Harry Potter, because this is the dining hall at Christ Church in Oxford, England, where that movie was filmed. So this is the kind of place that you'd want to decorate, right? Yeah.
I watched a Harry Potter movie last Christmas Eve.
Oh, you watched Harry Potter movie last Christmas Eve. That's amazing.
I watched 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Oh, you like watched all of them. Oh my goodness.
A bit of 7.
Okay. I'm going to keep telling my story if you don't mind, Jude. So, to keep going, boughs means branches. Okay? So when we talk about boughs of holly, we mean branches of holly. And holly is a plant that grows in Europe, not here, which is why we don't know it, although I know one place in my neighborhood that it's being used as a decorative bush. I did not, however, trespass to cut a piece off of it for you. Mistletoe's a whole different plant. It's a completely different plant than holly. So holly, there's a picture of it. This is holly. And you can see that the leaves have lots of spiky bits, and they're shiny and kind of waxy, and they have these red berries. And so when you think about Christmas and the colors red and green, it comes from the holly plant. Oh, she has a mistletoe that she kisses under. Mistletoe has white berries, but it's also evergreen. So I'm going to move forward as we get to another verse, or another part of the first verse of the song, that the word Don is a name. My sister-in-law's husband is named Don, but it also means to get dressed. So, Don, we're getting dressed, and the word gay first meant happy and bright. And it's only in about the last 100 years or so that it came to mean men who love men. So when we say, don we now our gay apparel, as much as my huge support for Pride is like, yes, let's dress up in our gay apparel, it actually means let's put on our fun, bright-colored clothes. And then finally, troll the ancient Yuletide carol. Troll in this sense does not mean a large, mean, make-believe creature, because it also means to sing loudly with abandon. So a carol is a Christmas song that you sing with wide abandon, but then we've got this other word, Yuletide. What does that mean? You don't know. So I'm going to tell you. Is that okay? Okay. So Yuletide, centuries ago, in places that we would now call Germany, Scandinavia, and Scotland, people called the time of year when the daytime got very short and the nighttime got very long, they called it Yule. So Yuletide is the time of year that's winter. And the longest night is called the solstice. And there's a story about the solstice that people would tell. You see, King Sun was an old, old man. He was hunched over, and King Sun couldn't rise very high in the sky. He would wake up late and go to bed early, and his light dimmed. And so with so little dim sunlight, the plants couldn't grow, and everything became cold and dark. And then everyone worried what would happen if the old King Sun couldn't rise in the sky ever again. And one night, it was such a long night that the people realized that the old King Sun had died. The year ended in darkness, and the people wondered, would there ever be light again? So they built a huge fire to try to hold back the darkness. And then there's a tiny glimmer of light on the horizon. A new sun had been born. It was small, and it stayed low on the horizon. But the baby King Sun was growing every day with more light and shorter nights. And the people welcomed this new sun, this new year, and they were relieved that there would soon be enough light and warmth for the plants to grow once again. And some people still celebrate Yule by building a big fire from a giant log, the Yule log, or they decorate a small log with candles to represent when we burned a huge log. And when they do this, they say goodbye to the old year's sun and welcome the new year's baby sun. So now, when you sing Deck the Hall, you know what the words mean. You know what Yule is. It is the time of year to celebrate the light coming back from the darkness. Now, before you leave, I have jingle bells for you. Please come and get your jingle bells. I'm going to grab one too. So we're going to pass those out, and then you can ring the jingle bells while all of us rise in any way we want to sing Jingle Bells. Downstairs, and we're going to sing one more chorus of Jingle Bells to send you to your classes. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
I feel like I should let the bells jingle out. But all right, I'll say, here we go. Bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 bum. You probably recognize that carol. It's an old one for kids. Up on the housetop, reindeer paws. And oh man, that Christmas carol was wild in my little head on Christmas Eve when I was 5. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, this was during a stretch of my family's dedicated church life when we lived in Oklahoma City and attended Britain Christian Church, which on this night had held a late Christmas Eve service. And it was quite late when my family, all 9 of us, had returned home and unloaded from our Volkswagen bus. My seemingly foolish older brothers and sisters, they all just headed to their variously shared rooms, and even the brother who shared the room with me, he just went up there and went to sleep. But as I sat in my bed, I had this really cool wristwatch, and I had learned how to read it. And to this day, I vividly remember my head against my pillow and looking at my watch and seeing that it was 10 minutes to midnight. 10 minutes to midnight, Christmas Eve. This, of course, was stunningly past my bedtime. So the opportunity provided by that late church service felt like a dazzling cheat code. Bum, 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 up on the rooftop. Click, click, click. Oh my goodness, I was going to hear it. I might run to my window, and maybe even see it. Now ahead of me, in all my years to come, I lay a lifetime of enjoying the spirit of anticipation, the season's peace, the philosophical warmth, and the compromising wisdom that would come of the imperfections of the world and the struggles, but all that adult nuance to come. But at that moment, anticipation of Christmas was sharp and precise and more than it ever had been or ever would be again. 10 minutes, just stay awake, 10 minutes, me and my little watch. I was 5. I fell asleep. I fell asleep. So I woke to the feeling of Christmas, not so much maybe with actual singing, but like all the Who's in Whoville, because Christmas did come while I slept. And there may have actually been singing because I grew up in this musical singing family. Most of us anyway, because some of my siblings were more musical than others, but most of us loved Christmas carols. I certainly did. Though there were some setbacks. There were setbacks. For one, I was mortified by what I felt like an odd spectacle when I was 9, and our Presbyterian church in Cleveland, Ohio, there, and my wonderful parents thought it would be this great idea when it was our family's turn to light one of the Lent candles, that instead of some spoken message, all 9 of us should come up here and stand here and sing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Now, at that age, I felt like a conscripted member of the Robertson Van Trapps. All we needed was lederhosen. And then there was the awkward, spontaneous inspiration of a college girlfriend who declared one evening that a group of us should just go caroling on a whim out in our neighborhood. We quickly found out when we set off without a plan or any music that on memory alone, a bunch of third-string troubadours can't get past the first verse of these songs. And from the windows of the random houses we set upon, we got nothing but a few shy, perplexed peeks from behind curtains, no figgy pudding. And finally, we knew it was time to quit when one house in mid-song turned off their porch light on us. But even that folly, recognized the fun of Christmas carols. I loved the many albums in my house growing up, Joy to the World with Julie Andrews, O Come Emmanuel with the Robert Shaw Chorale, Barbra Streisand on Jingle Bells, the Hallelujah Chorus, Going Over the Top with Andy Williams and The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, even getting Grandma run over by a reindeer on Christmas Eve. And then finally, the singing. When I was still finding my voice, one of the first moments that I really heard it was when my family was standing around the piano singing Angels We Have Heard on High, and the teenaged me found the magical tenor harmony on the Gloria. So now, to tie a bow on this, I want to assure you that the 5-year-old me did pretty soon got to the truth of Santa Claus. But I grew up believing in the sacred birth and the whole powerful Christmas story and the hope it shared. And somewhere in my 20s, I crossed the agnostic path to atheism. But that did nothing to the magic of the music. I mean, the beauty and mystery, hope and joy that we all share still lifts me up and carries me the way it carries us all. We all connect to our 5-year-old selves. I still wonder as I wander, do you hear what I hear? Heaven and nature sing, in excelsis Deo. So let's go tell it on the mountain.
In the long ago agricultural societies of medieval Britain and Europe, the lives of laborers were regulated by the church calendar. Holy days and saints' feast days, as well as the Sabbath, were designated times of celebration, free from labor, with time for family and neighborhood gathering, which often included games, eating and drinking, singing and dancing, gambling, and courtship. The word carol originally meant a song or tune for dancing. Christmas caroling became an outdoor public festivity when priests and bishops were so aggravated by undignified loud singing and rowdy dancing taking place in churches at Yuletide that they banned caroling in the churches and the people moved it out into the streets. Some of you may remember that our original Puritan ancestors took such exception to the excessive drinking and game playing of Christmas celebrations that they tried to eliminate the holiday by fining anyone who was caught observing it. To some extent, they succeeded in the new United States, and it was not until the English crown passed through a branch of the royal family with German connections that Christmas customs rooted in Teutonic pagan traditions, such as Christmas trees, found their way back into British and American society. This happened around the period during and after the American Civil War in the Victorian era, and Unitarians were an essential part of it. It was the Unitarian Charles Dickens who, with his seasonal ghost story, helped to popularize the chant for duty, morality, and sentimentality, and to connect it firmly to a renewed enthusiasm for the celebration of Christmas. It was not until 5 years after the end of the Civil War in America that Christmas was recognized as a federal holiday. At the same time, many religious leaders, Unitarian ministers notable among them, sought to denounce both the practice of slavery and the fratricidal war as anti-Christian and to be deplored in any proper understanding or celebration of Jesus' birth and message. The famous Unitarian poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow expressed his personal conviction of this sentiment on Christmas Day, 1863, in response to having learned that his son, Charles Appleton Longfellow, had secretly joined the Union Army as a lieutenant and had been severely wounded in battle during the previous year. Although Charles survived his injuries, he was too disabled to pursue a military career as he had hoped. Also in Longfellow's mind was the recent death of his second wife, a woman he dearly loved, whose dress had caught on fire and who had later died painfully from her burns. The poet found it impossible to join the summoning of the bells to celebration when the world was so filled with pain and memories of pain. He specifically blames the South in the words of a verse generally omitted when the poem is used as a contemporary carol. Then from each black accursed mouth the cannon thundered in the South, and with that sound the carols drowned of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Another Unitarian, Edmund Hamilton Sears, who served the congregation in Wayland, Massachusetts as a minister, responded to the request of a colleague and friend that he write words for a Christmas song for his Sunday school pageant. By the turn of the 20th century, this had become the now classic "It Came Upon the Midnight Clear," in which Sears contrasted the dreadful sounds of battle to the image of the angels singing to announce the birth of Jesus at the first Christmas and summoning humanity to end war and slavery and live in peace on earth and goodwill to men. Although he was noted among his contemporary colleagues as somewhat of a theological conservative, Sears's verse takes the angel's song as its focus, and unlike many of the other war-era carols, does not specifically mention Jesus, either as a baby or a savior figure, which has allowed it to remain relevant throughout the intervening century. This renewed emphasis on celebration of the moral and humanitarian message in songs and stories helped redeem the Christmas holiday from its popular perception as a frivolous, wasteful revelry to an occasion that sought to honor values of reverence, kindness, generosity, friendship, family, community, relief from suffering, and hope for the future. These longings of the heart and spirit are as urgent for us today as they were for our Victorian ancestors, and they remain the center of authentic Christmas in every age.
morning. It's that time of year when people are thinking about giving. They're giving gifts to family and friends, hosting holiday events and meals with the spirit of holiday generosity, giving your time to volunteer in various charitable activities, making year-end donations to your favorite charities, dropping money or food into donation bins. I'm sure you're all in the mode of checking your lists and checking them twice to make sure you're not forgetting anyone. I know I am. How about thinking about a gift to All Souls today as the baskets are passed? Consider a generous gift to the church, which will reach our church community and the greater Kansas City community in our outreach. The offering will now be graciously received.
Now, if you would, join with me in the dedication of our offering. We dedicate our offerings and our actions to the mission at the heart of this congregation, to build a respectful, caring community, to inspire personal and spiritual growth, and to create change toward a just and compassionate society.
ever time traveled? Want to try it? Guess what you have today? December gives us the opportunity to do so. Music, just like smells and tastes, has the ability to reach across time and space, connecting us with the past and reaching into the future. Even the most secular American experience is Christmas carols. They're inescapable. From TV commercials to that sound of the 80s, Mannheim Steamroller, can you feel the shoulder pads? Yeah. To Kevin's hurry home to set up his traps for the wet bandits, set to a frenzied carol of the bells. Carols are with us. And with us is that thread of connection. The carols we hear, sing, love, or loathe. I'm thinking of Christmas is Coming, the goose is getting fat, Mom. These existed before us and will exist after us. They exist here in this space, as well as places far from here. We can time travel just by taking a gentle breath in and exhaling their words and melodies. I had a tactile, physical experience of this festive DeLorean ride when I was in high school. I attended a Catholic school in mid-Missouri known for its wrestling and football teams, not for the amount of money invested in choir or band. Our choir was full of kids from big families with German last names. And we usually sang off of old music and rarely introduced music new to our repertoire. The oldest music that we had predated our school. Helias High School in Jefferson City opened in 1956, replacing the old St. Peter's High School. And even in 1990, we still had a few pieces with St. Peter's HS stamped on them. The oldest music we had was printed on yellowed and crumbling paper. It was the original German setting of what we know as Lo, How a Rose Ere Blooming. I can still remember and that direct connection between my voice and my hands with the voices and hands of students from long before, whose parents and grandparents probably spoke that German at home. Connected all together by that. Next, we get to make another connection. A favorite carol of mine is Good King Wenceslas. It's got a great melody and story-filled lyrics, a real banger of a carol as carols go, right? It was expertly played just this past week by the 4th through 6th grade orchestra students at Hale Cook Elementary School. And now we have that opportunity to join them and singers past and future as we sing together.
Shone the moon that night, though the frost was true. Like Bridget, I found myself thinking of how many Christmas songs find their magic when the current moment for the singer matches their nostalgia for a similar past experience, affirming some sort of meaning of Christmas. But sometimes this has put me in difficulty because I have little desire to have this Christmas be just like the ones I used to know. My beliefs have changed, and I have no simple, true meaning of Christmas to fall back on. And my awareness of the commercialism of the season can sometimes blind me from simple Christmas joys. Still, some of my favorite Christmas memories are captured in Christmas songs. And if we do have a white Christmas, like Jude has been asking for, if we're lucky enough that a snowstorm is well-timed enough to hit on my day off of work, then I will go outside and it will take me back as I stand in the quiet stillness of a world hushed by the frightful weather outside. And I will marvel at the beauty, and my soul will sing with gratitude for this life and with hope for more moments like this. And then the next time I hear Bing Crosby sing White Christmas, my heart will sing with joy again. And whether it snows or not, I will find myself outside at night in a city gone still, as most people have more reason to be home and less reason to be out, and I will search for, as so many carols suggest, a star. And that star in the stillness, that light in the darkness, will be beautiful because I have the time and the quiet and the spirit, the Christmas spirit maybe, to see it. And so it will spark hope in me for peace on earth, peace in my heart, and goodwill to all. And I'll step back inside as long as the kids are all actually asleep, and I'll say, Shannon, grab your hat and your scarf and your sweater. She doesn't really do coats. But grab your hat, your scarf, and your sweater and come and look. And I hope we can go outside, be arm in arm, and look up at the stars and experience that joy, that beauty together. I hope I will do those things. But Christmas is about hope, right? No matter how busy or cynical or triggered I can be, there are 100 symbols of the season to help remind us all to see it, from the snow to the stars to the holly, Christmas trees, nativities, presents, and every splash of red and green. My personal meditation and my prayer for all of us is that we can recognize the beauty all around us, embrace the hope that it inspires, and revel in and share the joy sparked by something as simple as a small silver bell.
Children laughing, people passing, may the smile of their smile.
release this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. With song, we have breathed together. We have rejoiced together and remembered that our hearts do not beat alone. The light returns soon, and we will continue on until a new sun rises. Go in peace.